That's the way you do it. What are we drinking today, Eloise? What do you got there?
Water, supposedly.
Agua. Is it when you say it's water? Is that code for tequila?
Yeah.
Is it shaken, not stirred? How do we do this?
Well, first it's stirred, and then it's shaken.
And then it's shaken. Do you got ice? Are you an ice water person?
Oh yeah, it's gotta be cold.
It's gotta be
Gotta
cold.
be
Do you
cold.
do you not get ice at a restaurant though? Because like my germ phobia and filth phobia, I just picture like them not washing the ice machine.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? So like my brain is like,
if I think about it too much, I get weirded out. But most of the time, I'm like, whatever, it's fine. I've gone this far in my life, going to restaurants and getting ice water without getting sick. So yeah.
well, it's like the young kids nowadays. They're always getting colds and AIDS and stuff. But like back when we were kids, you know, we were what? But oh, you get a cold too once in a while.
No, it makes me think of that one song.
Everybody's got it. All right. You got AIDS. Okay.
Back in middle school.
But when I was younger and everyone in my, we used to run around, we used to get hurt, so we didn't get sick as much. But my parents, they swam around in like, toxic waste because they were from the New York City. So they went in the harbor and they never got sick, until much later, of course, obviously. But, when you say, because I don't know if anyone's listening, but humans aren't supposed to live much older than 30. And that's why we start seeing complications after that, sort of like achy knees, gas, little things, like sexy stuff.
Little inconvenient stuff like hemorrhoids.
Yeah. That's why, like, when I read things about people who write books where they go, how come the protagonist isn't older than 18 to 20? Why can't they be a 40? Because I can't even sneeze without my back freezing up. And I'm supposed to think a 40-year-old warrior is going to take me through this whole story?
Yeah. Well, it's the whole, why are the heroes always so young? Well, okay, I don't know about you. I'm not even 35 yet. But if someone knocked on my door and was like, "You're the chosen one," I'd say no.
I feel like I'm not even busy. I'm just tired.
Too busy. I'm busy. I'm tired. I got stuff to do.
Yeah.
Find somebody else. And it's the young people, or also it's like the jaded, like, even if we do this, it's just going to be a waste of my time. You're wasting my time. I actually have a sci-fi book idea.
Tell us about
it. It's basically a mother of a young son. Weirdly relatable. She ends up discovering that she's got superpowers. And
she has stupid powers?
Yeah. And so the guy's like, you got to go up against like the bad guy. And she says, no, I don't think so. You go find somebody else and I'm going to help you find somebody else. And then, once we have somebody else, I'm not going to be the person. But then shenanigans ensue and, it ends up she has to be the one. That was my foot on my chair, by the way, if you hear.
No, I get it. We get it. You're almost 35, so you're already starting the gas. We get it.
It's on the downhill. Yeah.
Well, that sounds exciting. I don't know if you read comic books, but there was a comic book back in the mid 90s, late 90s, where it was basically a Superman style character, but they just didn't want to be a superhero. They weren't a villain, but they were just lazy. Yeah. So their house was like filthy, and they just never really like. They would save people, but just because,
fine.
Yeah, this will be easy. Like it wasn't an inconvenience. Whatever the case is. So it's always nice to read stories like that where they're reluctant hero. But yeah, going back to the age thing, like. Why is that? Why do you think that's even a complaint? Like, I don't know about you, but I like to write a series. I like to write where, like, maybe I want to write a book too. But if they're 45 and they go through life-altering chosen one stuff, there's no book two.
I mean, it depends on how quickly what the time span is the series is covering. If it's covering just a year. A week, that would be intense, having just like the whole book being, it's a 7-book series and each book is a day.
Oh god. Yeah, but also if it was intense, like there's not a lot of room to fight.
Yeah.
Because tents are small,
my series Legend of the Amazons, she starts out young, but then it goes up. It's going to be over the course of, I don't know, 5, 6, 10 years or
So
something
she's
like
gonna
that.
be
We'll probably
70
have
when
to find
when
her.
it ends.
Yeah, she'll be dead when it ends.
But isn't your character a full goddess or a half goddess or something?
No, so Otrera.
Look at, oh my god, a book! Holy
Otrera,
woo!
the first queen of the Amazons. She's a mortal. So yeah.
Oh, you want to put it up? Yeah. Woo! Look at that. Now this is the only book you have available?
Just the one for now.
Just the one.
Just one for now. But this is gonna be 6 books. And it's her journey from slave to badass warrior queen. So it can't just be over the course of a week.
Why is she a slave? What's going on with this?
Why is she a slave?
Yeah, you can't make her a slave. That's inconsiderate to the current slaves in the world. On the other side, you got to make her where there's no flaws. There's no challenge, no conflict. Look, what how am I supposed to read this and not feel appreciative? Does she have challenges, or do you purposefully hold her down? Like, because you're the author, right? So you're choosing to live your fantasies and your denigration through pushing back on this woman character as if you hate women,
Hate women so much, obviously.
Yeah, because if you put it in when you use a bad word, that means you use that bad word purposefully, and you've been dreaming your whole life to use it, and you can't have.
Oh, like when I have my bad guy characters call her a bitch or something like that.
You think women? You can't do that because that means because you wrote it. You believe women are bitches.
They can be, yeah. They can.
Oh, okay, all right. I'm pretty excited about this. What do you? Let's little shift. What are your thoughts on that? Where we could actually take it off of you. Don't worry about you. What are your thoughts on that kind of, if the author wrote it, they believe it and or practice it? What are your thoughts on that? Because technically, you're writing about a slave character, therefore you believe in slavery and you support it because you're writing about it. That's the argument that's out there. That's the debate. Like, if a author writes XYZ, it's because they A, believe it, or B, are living their fantasy out of, like, why do you need slavery in a story? We don't have, it's bad. We shouldn't, it's a fantasy. You don't have to put it in there. So they say that because you do, that you are perpetuating your real truth. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think it all depends. There's so much nuance. It's not a black and white topic, much like every other thing on the face of the planet is very black and white, or not black and white, shades of gray. 50 or more shades of gray about every topic at hand. So in my specific instance, it's a historical fantasy. It takes place in ancient Athens, and unfortunately there were slaves in ancient Greece, lots of slaves.
Yeah, but because it's fantasy, can't you change it?
Right. Well, I could make her a princess, but a princess in ancient Greece would not have the same motivation to reject the status quo of the social norms, because she's not suffering from the way that the society is run at that point in time. But you know who is? A slave.
Wait. I got pushback. I got devil's advocate here. All right. How can you stand on that position if there are indeed gods in your book, your world, therefore making it a complete fantasy? Therefore, you can change things up to not represent what the world was in that time.
But it's a historical fantasy, so I have the gods involved because we're including the Greek myth retelling. But in the Iliad, in the Odyssey, and the Trojan War, Achilles and Agamemnon and all their slaves, their captures. I think the difference is to the way the slaves were acquired and all that other stuff,
Well, I mean, no slave is acquired in a positive way. So it's not that it matters how they're acquired. I mean, they're just acquired is the bad. Like, you can't be like, well, David over there was taken by choice, so that's not too bad. But
No,
Bob, it's because he's tall.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying that there's a good way to become a slave. But as far as like whether an author condones the
substance
and supports the things that they write about, I think it really depends on how it is conveyed in the text itself.
Wait, but can't you push back on that as well? Because, like, what if you don't believe something, but you want to show how horrible it is because you believe it's horrible, so you try to make it as authentically horrible as it is, not over exaggerate the horribleness, but go deeply truthful with how horrible something is. That doesn't in itself mean somebody believes this is what should be going on or this is right. They're they're not trying to glorify it or
no, that's exactly what I'm saying. Is if you're just because you're writing about something doesn't mean that you're glorifying it, and it's how you write about it in the text that should be evident to most logical readers that you're not glorifying something, as opposed to there's some author, I don't know the book, I know there was some drama, but she's Australian and she wrote a book that had sorry, that was my child.
It happens. It happens. If you hear my child, I'll run out of the house because I don't have one.
You're like, what's this?
I have to
go. She wrote it in a way that it was very clearly condoning and romanticizing a certain illegal and disgusting relationship. And it was so bad it got reported by a bunch of people, got taken down by Amazon, and the police came because it's illegal in Australia for her to have.
I'm not gonna enhance on it, but you are talking about the PP word, the P word for children. Yeah, it was terrible. That was crazy. That book was crazy.
I know. So, but there's that kind of.
Yeah, but she came out and she was like in support of it, though.
Right. So, but even before she came out and said that she was in support of it, the people who were reading it were like, she's clearly like romanticizing this and stuff. And
Lolita. I mean, to be fair, the author, we don't know. I don't know. I don't have enough research on it. But the author of Lolita.
From what I'm aware of, it was not meant to be romanticized. Like, people romanticized it, but it was supposed to be showing how disgusting the guy was.
It's very disgusting. That's why I stopped doing it once I got older than 13. I was like, I don't, one time I was talking to my friends. We were in our 20s and 30s, and they were like, what's the youngest girl you ever been? I was like 13. They all gave me this weird look. I was like, I was 13. And like, oh. I'm like, you're asking the wrong question. Can we have parameters before you judge? But wasn't my fault. I fell asleep. But like, I
don't want to go down that road.
I'm just making jokes, people.
I know.
She was asleep. No, just kidding. It was me. It was just me by myself. It was terrible. The lipstick was all over my hand. The thing I want to say, though, is like, I'm not talking about people that, like, for example, let's say Donald Duck Trump decided to write a book about sleeping with younger girls. Like, I already know he believes it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because like publicly, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like, here's a good example. One of the conversations in the community, not our tight-knit community, but a community outside of when specifically male authors write female characters being beaten, it's because they secretly fantasize and want to perpetuate misogynistic beliefs and believe in abusing women So does that mean women, especially warrior women, aren't allowed to lose or get hurt or go up against somebody that they realize, oh, maybe this is again,
Yeah.
like, especially for yourself, you're writing a female character who I'm sure gets hurt, right?
Yeah. Well, again, I think it's the context. It's the, why is she getting beaten? Why is she getting abused? There's
Well, can you go
assault.
into that? Can you go into that, like the why? Because when it comes to why, it's based on character motivation. Sometimes there is no
So,
why other than the character hates women.
yeah. So you could also go in the direction of not just like why a female character is getting, and I'm assuming are you meaning like domestic violence, or are you just meaning
No,
like
well,
losing?
anytime a male writer, this is the argument, this is the position that's being taken on the social of the medias. Anytime a male writer, okay, portrays any version of a woman character being beat up or hurt by another male character, it directly correlates with their misogynistic hatred towards women, and they're living out their fantasies of violently hurting females. I personally don't agree with the position, but it is an argument that's going out there. Now, does that mean when women do it, it is not perpetuating this? I don't think it's perpetuating it in any situation, but how can one, because I don't think, because here's, like, let's say you write a book about a serial killer. I'm not a serial killer.
No.
I'm lactose intolerant. But the point is, like, if
it
I write
the roof of my mouth.
What?
It hurts the roof of my mouth.
It does. Ouchie!
Some Cocoa Puffs tear my mouth up.
Captain Crunch. Now that's the death cereal. That thing. Why? I didn't know I had strawberry milk. Because your mouth bleeds. All right. But a serial killer killing men and or women in a novel doesn't mean that the author, especially a male author, wants to see women murdered horribly. Because usually serial killers are also sexualizing something. There's something. Right.
Right.
So, like, how, like, what do you mean the why? And even that's it. Like, well, why? Well, they're a serial killer. They probably have some sort of, and they're having sex with the dead woman's, head that was cut off. And that's just what's happening. Oh, well, the author probably fantasizes about. No, that's based on a real serial killer that did that to multiple women, including their mother. It's a famous Keter is a famous serial killer. So, but
lovely. So what I mean by what's the intention of it? It's just like not just like with beating, but like also sex scenes. Like if you aren't writing erotica, what is the point of the sex scene? Is the point of the sex scene to increase a character? Is it to character growth? Is it to advance the plot in some way, or is it just to titillate? And if it's just to then like maybe not.
What is the terminal? The technical. What is that? Is that writing terminology?
Yeah, that's a technical writing term, Thomas. I learned it from your book, so don't know why you're acting like you don't know what it is. But so like with having a female character be beaten either in battle or in a
bedroom,
she's getting jumped or something. If it is not to achieve something with character motivation, character growth, plot development, if it's, and I would argue also, is there only one way to achieve that character growth? Is that the only way to achieve that character growth? Because, example, in my book, Otrera almost gets sexually assaulted by a prince, and she impulsively stabs him, kills him, and then that leads her into the situation where she's, go read the book right now. But if she wasn't
Link in description.
if she wasn't the slave in the situation that she already isn't enjoying the life that she currently lives, and she
How do you know?
I was like, no, fuck you, Thomas. I know Trevor better than you do. And if she wasn't, she's, because she's a slave, she needed to have something very extreme to thrust her into making this decision that's going to change. Yeah, I know, I said the word. Change her entire life, kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So I do think it's tiresome and boring that, and she doesn't actually get, sorry, I'm like getting ahead of myself. I think personally it's tiresome and boring for people to rely on, oh, this woman was sexually assaulted, so she's like tough and stuff like that. Like that's their
but she needed it to become the character she is.
Right. And so my little twist of that trope, that cliche, is that she's almost assaulted and then she's like, no, I'm gonna stab you in the neck with a knife.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But I don't think, if it's purely just like she has the crap beat out of her for no reason. If she's a warrior, if Brienne of Tarth is fighting somebody and somebody's better than her, wait. Loses, that's not George R. R.
Martin. I gotta push back.
Misogyny.
I gotta push back.
Coming through. He has plenty of other misogyny.
I still feel what you're saying doesn't directly correlate with connecting the author with said behavior. I believe what you're talking about is poor writing, when something happens to happen and it doesn't move the plot forward, build the character, or add to the world. I agree with that statement, but I don't agree that just because poor writing is on the page, it is a direct correlation to an author's belief, especially if it's a dude.
No, I don't think that it is a direct correlation, but it could be an indicator that, okay, so this scene doesn't do anything for the plot.
That's just bad writing, though.
It was written because the writer wanted to write it.
We don't know that.
If you do know it, you do know it.
No. Because if a author believes it is doing something, that's the difference between good writing and bad writing. Good writing is with intention. That means we know what we're doing. Bad writing is we don't know what the intention is. We just believe it looks good or it works good. I'm a development editor, and I'll tell you right now, I get many manuscripts where they're like, this is really good. It's not going to need a lot of work. And then I get it, and it is not very good, and it needs a lot of work. But that's because authors traditionally don't know what's good or bad because, and this is not a negative thing, we are emotionally biased to the information. Not only do we understand the nuance, as per your own words, I know her better than you do, right? That's the J. So you can't see holes. You can't see a lack of intention on the page. You might believe in your head, oh, this makes perfect sense for her. But on the page, it hasn't been established that it makes sense for her. Okay, so that's just bad writing. I don't think an author going, well, I want this character to be I don't think I want this character to have some butt stuff against her own will because I want to have butt stuff with women against their own will. No, they're going, oh, I want to see her in a situation where it's tough and it's horrible, and that might be the author's motivation. But it's executed poorly, and it's like, she could have never become the president of the United States if she didn't get butt stuffed, literally stuffed in the butt stuff, and you're just like, this is just really bad writing. But that doesn't mean the author, especially if they're a guy, is sitting there at home going, I wish I could butt stuff the future female president of the United States. However, Hillary is kind of attractive. Like, there's no way. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a small chance of anything because of the rules of probability. But I'm just saying, like, that argument that is being perpetuated, I think
I disagree. I disagree with the other people. I agree with you that just because the author is writing it doesn't mean that they condone it, doesn't mean that they want to live it out. I will acknowledge that fiction is a safe place for people to experiment with certain things, especially like dark fantasy or whatever. But there is definitely a double standard of between male authors and female authors, and even just men and women in general, as far as that goes. The book talk girlies.
Well, the book universe on the internet.
saying and acting in a certain way that if it was on the other foot.
If it was on the other foot.
So what the comments and the harassment that if it was a man saying it to a woman, string him up.
If he likes it, that's okay. But
the number of, and it's not okay for either.
Of course, it's never okay. My stance on that, by the way, is I have two rules in life. Do not physically hurt other people. Doesn't matter if they're men, women, or in between. If they're even animals, you do not hurt animals. But I'll eat a hamburger. And then the second thing is, don't go out of your way to maliciously mess with other people. And I always get a little upset over the nuance of men this or women that. And it's like, no, people. It's like, it's like saying all lawyers are thieves. No, there are lawyers who are people who are thieves, and we have to like, for example, if you go crazy and beat up somebody, that doesn't mean women go crazy and beat up people. It means that you went crazy and beat up somebody. It just so happens you're a woman.
I'll be your devil's advocate then.
Sure, go ahead. I'm a psychology major, so go ahead.
What about situations where for the record, I agree with you. It isn't only men do this or only women do that. However, there are certain situations where statistically excessive amounts of one sex or the other perpetuate the crime.
All right. So let's talk about the numbers. All right. We're dealing with, what is there? 7 trillion people in the world. Okay. But a lot of those numbers that we deal with are just the USA. So let's say, what is there? Like a couple billion people in the world, right? In the USA, right? Yeah. The number is like 0.03% of what I believe you might be referring to, right? So
I'm thinking of a very, very specific instance.
Yeah, it's the bear versus man. Bear versus woman.
No, I'm thinking of schools.
All right, well, in school, women
very specific, not just men, very specific kinds of men go and shoot up schools.
Yeah, but also very specific kind of women teachers have a higher rate of sleeping with children, just like a higher percentage of women murder their children, right? But that doesn't mean women murder their children. It means that a person who is dealing with a very specific disorder has done the thing. Just like the man isn't killing people at the school. It's just so that person is dealing with a very specific disorder. It just so happens in the genetic world, but the percentage is not high enough to where it's like, I get into this conversation a lot with people where it's like I was watching a show where this, I'm going to say she's a woman because she was arguing that all men are rapists. All right. And she goes, like 37% of the population of men rape.
That's not all.
No, but wait. Think about that number, 37%. Do you know how much of how inaccurate that number is? Because remember, it's 0.0 something. It's not 37. So that means out of 100,000 men, 37,000 men are indeed at any given moment, because the statistic is based on, a daily thing, right? So at any given moment in America, 37,000 men are going at it.
But
that number is just outrageously wrong.
I don't know where this person's getting their statistics from, and and I'm not an expert in any of this by any means, but I do know that definitions of what's what can, and this is weird. I'm trying to figure out the good way to say this. What would be considered that to one person might not be that to another person.
Well, yeah, but that's your personal experience, or
right. But what I'm saying is, so of those statistics, if I asked that person who was saying that, they might say I am a victim of X, Y, or Z because I didn't want to have sex one time, but I did anyway because I didn't feel like saying no. I was a consenting adult. I don't consider that rape, but if somebody else would tell me, oh yeah, you have been.
Yeah, but I've been raped several times in my lifetime, and I have never looked at the other sex in my life and said, this person's going to also rape me.
Yeah.
And it's been more than a handful, because, you get woken up a certain way, or whatever, or you tell, you're exhausted and you're saying, look, I'm not interested. Or you say, look, I'm willing to do this, I don't want to do that. And then they keep coercing you.
Right. Right.
There are women that do the butt move where you're like, I'm not in the mood, I don't want to do it. So they rub their butt on you when you're laying down, and they go, please, let's do it. Come on. You want to. So then you have to appease them. Right. Or, but like, again, hey, I got laid. Woo, I won, but it's not, because, I now have that, I got pressured into it, because if I don't, then, or, you're not a real man because you can't get it. I just worked 13 hours on set. I can't, even if Viagra wouldn't work, I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm that tired, but that doesn't mean when I meet a new woman, I'm thinking, oh man, it's been more than two handfuls of experiences, just because I know I didn't want to, or I woke up knowing I didn't want this.
Right.
And I could count it on more than one, it's like, but that doesn't mean this person I'm meeting is going to do that to me. Just like I don't think every guy I meet is going to try to kidnap me. Because, when I was a kid, I was almost kidnapped from my house, right out of my bed while I was sleeping. So, but I still have to go to sleep.
That's some of that Soprano shit.
To be fair, if the Soprano element of my life knew who it was,
Speaking of the Sopranos,
yeah, let's get into something exciting and very, very non-violent.
I finally convinced Mr. Eloise to watch The Godfather, and he liked it.
Like, what's The Godfather?
Yeah, it's a good one. You should watch it.
Is that a movie?
Yeah. The third part's not very good.
I have a question for you. Did you read the book, The Godfather?
I did.
And you were like, this is terrible.
It was all right. I was deep in an Al Pacino phase.
Is that why he's 70-something years old with another kid?
Dude, he's not 70-something. He's like in his late 80s.
Oh, he's 90-something, right? Yeah, he's 90-something.
He's in his late 80s, early 90s.
Pacino is, oh my God, he's 85?
Yeah.
What?
He's still going.
My father would have been 79.
Yeah, I was in an Al Pacino phase and a Godfather phase, and I really, really did not like Kay. And I thought she was awful, and I was convinced that I would be a great mob wife.
You would.
And that's how I ended up being the worst exchange student in Naples.
In Naples. Oh, tu parli italiano, per favore?
No.
Oh,
no.
Right. Okay. Tu sono dei Naples.
Worst exchange student.
Oh, you don't know any Italian.
All I gained was 20 pounds.
Where though? You're like a twig. In a good way. I'm not a negative. In your butt?
Yeah.
Then why are you doing footfinder.com? No, all right. You should be doing assfinder.com. Are you Italian?
Too much work.
aren't you German or something? German, Irish, or
No,
Greek?
I'm an American mutt.
Do you have Italian in you? Because I can
Everything
help.
bagel seasoning. What?
What? Just for the record, Eloise and I are friends. We know each other. This is not this is like normal, stupid conversation we have. This is not a first time. So, first time guest, last time appearance.
I have a question you want to ask finder.com, Eloise.
Sometimes I have friends on here that like I've known for like 10, 20 years, and like the conversations they have, I'm just like, someone's gonna be like, is this a first time conversation?
And like normal people are watching it, and then you reach out to them to be like, hey, do you want to interview? And they're just like, no.
I'm gonna skip. Speaking of Italians, right? So yeah, I mean, The Godfather is a great movie. It's fantastic. However, I might argue that the second one is the superior movie. Only because it wasn't. I mean, it was the first time they really mastered doing a double POV like that, where the past influenced the future and vice versa.
See, honestly, because I recently rewatched it, and I would have enjoyed 2 standalone movies.
Oh, instead of having a third Godfather.
Oh my God! Yes, instead of having that, we're not watching that one. I'm not.
Eloise, you're supposed to like Godfather 3 because you're a woman, and Sofia Coppola directed the third one. So either you hate women or you like them.
No, I don't. I do not. I thought she was a terrible pick for. She might have been a good director. I don't remember.
She directed that movie,
right? But she also starred in it.
No, she didn't star in it. She gets killed. Spoiler.
She plays his daughter, who I'm like,
gets murdered.
I can't remember where his son went. Anyway, I thought she was a terrible pick for his daughter. And then some weird like pseudo incest thing with Andy Garcia. I can't remember. I'm not watching it again.
Andy Garcia was born a Siamese twin, and they had to take the brother off his shoulder. Did you know that?
When I was born, I had a lump in my throat, in my neck.
Wow.
And then they did surgery, and there was a tooth of my unborn twin.
That's crazy. I was wait. You're a twin. I was born a
my big fat Greek wedding.
Oh, that's when they're. Did you use Windex to heal it? When I was born, I was actually Siamese twin. We were penis to penis. Unfortunately, we had to cut it, and you know.
That's why one of you is circumcised and one of you isn't.
You know, it's funny. I actually was supposed to be a twin because my mom and dad were having children 7 years before I was born, or 6 years before I was born, and they were twins. They were going to be twins, and one of the kids were going to be a Thomas Joseph Bellezza. Mm-hmm. Tommaso Giuseppe Bellezza. All right. And then, but they died of SIDS as they were born. So, like, my mom, instead of naming one of the kids after her twin brother who died when she was younger, because she is a twin, she decided not to name the kid after her death. You know, so she's like, I want to try to have a girl, but if I end up having a boy, I want to keep my brother's name going. So,
what were you going to be if you were a girl?
I don't know, because I never asked, because I came out and I'm not as hairy as my mother was, but because we're Sicilian.
Still? You're still
well, she is not Sicilian anymore. She is dead.
Yeah.
She's now bone.
I'm saying you now.
Oh, me? I am Sicilian now. Yeah.
No, I'm saying you being hairy now.
Am I hairy? I don't know. Do you think I
hairier
look like...
than your mom? Are you hairier than your mom now?
No, she's bones. There might be hair in the dust. I don't know. The dust in the wind. Or... a hot take: hairy or not hairy? What do you prefer?
For what? Faces.
No, just to tell, like a hairy man or a non-hairy man.
I'll take a hairy man.
Hairy man, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. Eloise has a magnificent, glorious beard, and if he shaves, I'll probably divorce him.
How big is his beard, and where do I send the razor so I have a chance?
It's like sea captain size.
Captain. Oh, so I got to keep growing mine because I trimmed mine just recently.
Oh yeah, he's got a good 4 inches on you.
On the beard. So
No.
clearly he's taller than I am, everyone.
Yeah, probably.
Right? He's 6 foot.
Yeah, he's 6'2".
6. Yeah, I'm a 5'9" and a half.
I'll say Italians are compact.
We are. Yeah, we're more like we're girthy. You know.
No, tuna can.
Yeah, we're like 4 inches around. You know, it's just it doesn't go in. It can't. It's impossible. But the girth is quite embarrassing.
Oh.
By the way, how would you react to that if you saw a penis that was 1 inch long, but it was literally 4 inches of girth, and literally looked like a tuna can? When it got hard, you know, it was just like an actual tuna can representation. Just it was skin with like a little tiny hole in the front where they pee. Come on, I need to know. That's worse than a micro penis. No shaming. No shame to my friends. Imagine that. That'd be so crazy.
I don't know. I probably just turned the light off. So I'm not this.
So you're not opposed to continuing. You would just turn the light off. How could you? You couldn't do anything with that. Stuff. Look, you could fit 2 raccoons easily into an anus. That's true, but not scientifically. You could stretch it, you know, in case you have a butt baby. But like I don't think a tuna can has a chance.
You heard it here, folks. Just turn the light off. Tuna can.
Please tell me one of your characters in a future book discovers a man with a tuna can.
Absolutely not.
Why not?
First of all,
it's because you believe all men should have tuna cans. I don't want to be known for that.
No tuna cans in my books. But also the ones in the monster ones where it's like it's as big as she couldn't even wrap her hands around it, and I'm just like, that's maybe my hands are. I mean, I'm not big as in like just height, I guess. I'm a tall woman.
What are you, 5'8"?
So maybe my hands are just bigger than normal women's hands.
Let me see your hands. That's pretty.
That's bigger than a tuna can.
That is bigger than, right?
That's like a bologna.
Poor balonies. Oh my god. So but you've been writing aren't you writing like an erotica book right now, or is it an erotic fantasy?
Romantasy.
Yeah, but romantasy isn't like a sex book, is it? But you have sex in your book.
It is. Well, so it's the spice is the indication of how much sex is in it. So if it's a low spice, it doesn't have a lot of sex scenes, or it's like a lot of fade to black kind of stuff. Spicy is like on the page, details, all that other stuff.
Hey, give me an example. Slow and with a deep voice.
No. You don't get free erotica reading on your podcast, Thomas. You gotta subscribe to my OnlyFans.
His head was like a bologna, but short like a tuna can. And the way she put her fingers around it and the laugh did. All right. But I have a question for you, though. Going back to, we could even almost connect this to the beginning conversation where it's like, when you write these sex scenes, are you concerned that you are writing things that A, you have never done, and B, maybe have done, and C, have done, and that your readers will go, this is what Eloise wants, and also your parents are still alive, so discuss.
Well, I've specifically told my father that he gets the blacked out version.
Oh, of everything but the sex scenes?
Yeah, it'll be like a bunch of, it's like a CIA document, and it'll be like, they hugged, and then it'll skip like
penis
3 to 10 pages, and then start again.
That's fine.
And I'm not letting my Nana read it because I'm afraid it'll give her a heart attack.
Nona will be like, Your book version you sent me says they met, they lived happily ever after. Isn't there a middle?
Yeah. No, I'm not really concerned about it. I'm really open and comfortable with my sexuality and my sex. I mean, I'm not gonna be telling you
Yeah, you're not gonna be like butt
all
stuff
the things I
everywhere.
do.
Yeah.
I don't kiss and tell, but
But I tell and kiss. But when you write those, how do you approach it in a way where you're like, how do I make this as authentic as possible without really
well, it's helpful having had sex.
You've never had sex.
Previously, I've had it at least once. Okay.
At least, well, that's yeah. You're a Mormon. You only have sex to have children. I get it.
Yeah. When I was a teenager, I
had sex.
Things. Yeah. No. Well, technically, I was 19, but no. Before that, when I was like 15, and very much a virgin, and very much some of the things that I wrote, I'm like, that's not realistic. That's not. Nope. So that definitely helps to know.
Well, what's an example of not realistic? Because I'm interested.
Okay, here. I have a very specific one that I remember. So the character was a, oh God, this is embarrassing.
A vampire, werewolf, horse?
No, a different kind of embarrassing. This is during my Al Pacino phase, and I was involved in a Harry Potter site thing. And so my character was a 55-year-old Russian Death Eater. Envision.
Eloise?
Anyway, so he was getting down to business. So I'm
Wait, this 13-year-old character is getting down to business with a 50-year-old?
No. So I'm like 16. My character is 55 with another adult character.
Oh, okay. All right.
No. Adults, consenting adults. I write very consensual things. So they did stuff.
Except for the stabbing parts. There's no consent in that.
5 to 10 minutes later, they were ready to go. He was ready to go again. And I'm reading this and I'm like, that's not at all realistic. He'd be asleep.
Wait a minute. 5 to 10 minutes later?
He'd be needing
55-year-old people.
Or something. Yeah, specifically, like he's not even like a 20-year-old guy in his prime needs to like take a break and hydrate or something, you know?
Yeah, something. Gatorade.
This guy's in his 50s. So, yep, that kind of thing.
My favorite is when adults write sex scenes and they're unrealistic. And you're like, I know these people having sex. They have kids. They have more than one kid. And you're watching people on television on something like Black Dagger Brotherhood. And you're like, not only is this person's pants still on and somehow he's in her, but they are already close to climaxing.
Yeah. That's not how any of this works.
You can't kiss a girl's nose and she's like, oh, you know, like it doesn't work that way. I've tried it.
No, it doesn't.
I played the video. I paused it. I said, all right, let me see. And nothing. It's not true, man. A girl does not orgasm instantly. And by the way, when I was growing up, I don't know if anyone knows, I'm 47 now. So I'm still growing up because I am a child in a man's body. Accurate. When I was younger, and this is a true statement by more than one woman to me that I was either intimate with or going to be. If you do not come at the same time, you don't love each other. Thoughts? Also, these people were definitely virgins. Carry on. But I would love your thoughts. Because that's a lot of pressure, okay? Because I either have to wait 20 to 30 minutes to warm her up. All right?
What an unfortunate, what a restrictive way of thinking.
I'm just saying, I definitely didn't love any of them after that. So it had nothing to do with the same time. It had to do with the pressure. Imagine being told that, listen, if you if you don't do the butt stuff, you don't love me. Imagine that is the equivalent of if we don't come at the same time, well, you don't love, right? Because like you're putting this expectation,
Nonsense.
you know. Anyway,
And be like, okay, well, I'll just be over here by myself then.
So well, now you're just talking about my dating life. All right, so we. I date a lot of women, but they're with like their husbands or their boyfriends, and I'm like 2 tables over watching them. It's just nice to go out once in a while with them. You know, they don't see me. It's not like, but it's
makes for a cheap date.
Who paid for our dinner? Just like all right. So let's see. You've been on the show before.
Yes, I have.
So I don't want to ask you the same question I ask everybody because you are a returner.
Well, does it help that I don't remember the question you asked me? So,
I mean, a worst case scenario, you'll give a different answer. Best case scenario, you'll give the same answer. And I say that because it means that you believe the original answer. Like some people just make up answers.
The same answer.
I don't know. Well, I have other questions though. Let's see.
You've already asked me a lot of questions today.
No, I have like a final like it's a thought-provoking question. Usually it adds to the celebration or elevation of others. Oh, I got one for you. I'll give you a choice. Actually, do you want a craft one, an AI one, or a challenge one?
Well, don't get me started on AI. Challenge. What's challenge?
Well, maybe the AI one will be a good one if you don't want to get me started. That sounds like you have a lot to say.
Don't make me pick, Thomas.
All right, we'll do the challenge.
Don't make me pick.
All right, the question for the challenge is: have you ever been with a tuna camp? All right, no. All right. What do you believe are the most significant challenges facing the writing industry today, and what changes do you think are needed to address these issues? Thoughts?
I think the most significant challenges that is facing the writing industry today is the laziness and desire for that instantaneous, the quick buck. There's so many publishing houses and so many people that would rather make something sloppy in a fast way so they can try and get money as quickly as possible, and not recognizing or appreciating the fact that unlike a lot of other things that you can do for work, writing is a time-intensive labor of love, and I think the love has left mainstream writing. I know there's still plenty of authors that write something that they're passionate about and something that they care about, but the ones that are, and I think honestly it's the publishing industry that is pushing writers to do it for the right for market and just churn out something and not really put in the effort to fill in plot holes or edit it or all the different ones that I'm thinking of.
Like the next mentality. Next.
Yeah, exactly. Well, in this digital age of instantaneous gratification of the 5-second reels and the short attention spans, books don't translate to that, I don't think. And they shouldn't.
Well, it's like that. What's the people are saying, like, why are there so many words on the page?
Yes. Oh my God. The one woman who was like, I just skim it. It's like, what? Why don't you read? Why don't you do comic books or like audiobooks or scripts? Oh my God. If she doesn't want the exposition, go read a script. It's literally boop, 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 boop.
How is it? I'm sorry. What is the technical term?
Boop, 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 boop. I also got that from the other part of your book, Thomas.
That's accurate because that's what we would do in writing rooms. We got to get to the boop, 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 boop. I do have a question in response to what you were saying.
Okay.
A follow-up, and then we could call it a day because we're almost there. We're almost at the hour. Uh,
More projects to do around the house.
all right. If you owned a publishing company, okay,
Mhm.
and you only had X amount of dollars, and then you had an entire team of people you had to pay, and an office to rent out, and of course you have to invest money into marketing. Some authors, not all authors, but some authors, especially money makers, and you have to put money into printing the books because they do physical prints to mail out to locations.
Mhm.
How many books would you be willing to publish that you knew wouldn't sell as much as a to market or a current trend book? Right?
Well, okay, but see,
I don't know, accountant. You tell me.
you've got the accounting business half, and then you've got the writer passionate half.
But
So
who runs the publishing company? A business or
the
an artist?
business, the business. But unfortunately, the writing to market isn't even a guarantee. Um,
But would you say it
so
has a better chance than, let's say, an experimental book or a book that isn't necessarily even popular right now, like right now, if I wrote what's the bit like Shadow Daddies or whatever they're called, right? Like that might be more beneficial than say another Lord of the Rings, and not Lord of the
yeah,
Rings like an actual Lord of the Rings, like somebody going, I'm writing a book that is completely dense with
yeah,
exposition like Lord of the Rings. Like which one is going to sell
right.
more likely, the Shadow Daddy
I
or
I I think my point wasn't the content of the book itself. It was the amount of effort you're putting in.
oh,
Some
on
of
the
these
author's part?
books on the publishers with the editing
Oh, okay.
part. Like there's supposedly it's traditionally published, so it's a higher tier thing, so we have higher expectations. But then some of these books anymore, you get a hold of them, they're traditionally published, and you're like, this was edited?
Yeah, you did what with it?
Question mark?
I've been getting some good feedback on the people were like, "Oh, who published you?" And I was like, "Oh, I did it myself." And they're like, "Really? This book looks like a professional book." I go, "It is a professional book."
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The well, anymore it's so easy to make it look professional
Well, yeah.
and not be able to tell the difference.
Well, I also
Although
have a graphic art background, so I did my cover, and people were just like,
yeah,
"Who
yeah,
who did the cover?" And
right.
but that helps, like you need a solid cover, you need a cover that doesn't. But also most also like even yourself, I'm sure you're not spending more than $2,000 on a book cover. You're not, art wise, right?
Yeah.
You spend more than $2,000.
No.
But like a
Well,
Brandon Sanderson is, like
yeah.
you're getting people that are they're making paintings. They're doing like beautiful paintings, and then they're transcribing it into a cover, and that's the difference between, hey, I could afford $500 for a templated cover
Yeah.
with
But
adjustments made.
I think there's in between. So mine was custom digital art from Flora. Wow, my I have too much light on my book now. Can we
That's all right. We
move
could
it?
well now we
No,
can't see it.
the
Just put
colors
it
look funky, but it's custom digital art. It's not somebody going and hand painting. The Brandon Sanderson thing, that could potentially be a the situation of the, and I'm not saying this is happening, speculation based off of my own observations of other aspects of business, is that um, you can charge more to a company if you know they're willing to pay for it.
Well, that is true. I mean, like
You could go, that artist gets approached by a big five publishing company for a cover, says, how much for this? And they'll say, oh, $2,500. Me, I'm going to go, are you kidding me? That's outside of my budget. I'm sorry. And then they could be like, well, actually, I could do it for less or whatever. Whereas the size of it, their budget is so big that they're like, oh, we were expecting to pay like 5,000. That's fine.
yeah, yeah. Well, as Sanderson though will do it out. He has a whole team. Like he does.
Yeah.
In fact, he's moving away from publishers. He's just continuing to do it himself. But even back when I was consulting more, like in the industry and stuff like that, businesses I would charge $300 an hour, whereas an individual I would do $100 an hour. You know, because it's relative to scale to wanting to actually help them, but more importantly, a business wants to pay for it, but also you're going to do more for a business than you are for an individual too. So, you know, at the end of the day, well, you know, so, but yeah. All right. So there we go. We did an hour. Eloise, how do people find you?
You can find me on Instagram and my website and YouTube at author Eloise Bahr.
I thought you were just magically trying to be telepath there. All right, everyone's getting the name, getting the address.
There's a Google box. You type in Eloise Bahr into the Google box, and you will find me.
That's right. That's right. Hashtag tuna can, and you'll find her on everything. I will also say her website will be linked in the description, as well as her link to her book. But more importantly, because your name is really easy to spell, and some people might just be listening to this on the audio, do you want to spell out your website for people?
Yes. www.eloisebahr.com. I like how you put my name up so I could read it.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna have to think about it. Like, is it? That's your real name too, right? Other than Bahr. Bahr is the change name.
No.
This ain't your real name?
No.
You're using an author name?
It's close. No. Yeah, it's a pen name.
Oh, but Eloise is your real name?
No.
Eloise, what's your real name? Is it Bob? Be honest with me.
Shannon.
It's Shannon, really?
No, it's not.
Oh. I use this. Mine is Thomas J. Bellezza's stage name too.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
What do I look like? Do I look like a Barbara or something?
You look like a Melissa. I'll be honest.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
No, it's either Alyssa or Melissa. I'm figuring. You're like, crap. How do you know? I read your diary. It's really. So wait. So when I meet you in person, I gotta be like Eloise, and you're gonna be like, "Who's this?" Oh, yeah, that's me.
No, I'll answer.
You'll answer to that. You'll answer that.
It confuses people when I sign contracts and use my real name.
And they're like, "What is this?" I'm gonna have to send you a contract for this episode. All right. Well, I had a question about Bahr because Bahr is a famous painting company, and I was going to be like, "Is your husband related to the painting people?" Yeah, Bahr Paint.
Bahr Paint. BEHR.
Oh, BEHR.
I use it all the time.
All right. Okay.
But no, that's not my real last name.
None of that name is real.
None of it's real.
You basically catfished me.
Yes.
All right. Well, this
fair. Isn't real either.
Oh my God! You're my twin. How's the penis going? Is it still hurting? I know they gave me more inches on my end.
Dude, you got all the inches.
Yeah, but you got all the tuna. All right, so we gotta go. Eloise Bahr, thank you so very much for joining us and catfishing me. For everyone out there, who did who?
Tuna fishing you.
Tuna fishing me. Excellent smell if you can't smell anything. You know, you're allowed to wash that once in a while. Anyway, I'm Thomas J. Bellezza, and as always, keep developing the right mindset. I'll see you next time. Bye.